Fallout New Vegas is a game that brings variety to the Fallout world, but what if, instead of variety, we kept things simple? Today we will attempt to beat Fallout New Vegas using only the items in Doc Mitchell's house. As always, before we start, a few rules need to be set for the run. The first rule, no sneak build at all, as we don't want to make things easier. And the second, I can only use the items found in the house where the game begins. I can repair my weapons at any merchant, but consumables and weapons that I use must be found in this specific house. Now let's attempt to answer a question no one has ever asked. I woke up to a creep watching me as I slept, made the epitome of perfection, and named him after a sweetheart that comments on my videos. I then pounded my skill points into strength and endurance, and for the boosted attributes, I for some odd reason decided to put them into speech, unarmed, and medicine. Straight away, I went off like a drug fiend scavenging for every last piece of gear in Mitchell's house. It broke my heart for him to see me this way, but I had to. I found a couple of knives, a 9mm pistol, 8 stim packs, and quite a few consumable healing items. Unfortunately, the ammo I got was laughably scarce, so I was going to have to fist some dudes with a knife for a majority of this run. After I made sure to clear everything out of Mitchell's house, it was now time to start this run. Good Springs was just as I remembered it. You know what they say, give a man a friendly town, he'll stay for a day. Give a man a problem to deal with, and he'll watch as the people of Good Springs fuck the powder gangers right in their booties. After watching the slaughter, my work was done here, and I was then off to the nearest city. My decision making is as good as a baby crossing a busy road, and for some reason I didn't bother to change any of my attributes when I was prompted to. But the show must go on. The walk to Primm was fun, and I clapped a couple of scary lizards, and then had my first interaction with NCR scum. I had to show him a bit of that pale boy loving. You see here, this is a technique I am not sure many of you know. I will be sure to make a video in the near future on how to do this properly. After I was done having my fun, I went off to continue on my quest. The run was proving easy so far, but before we can go any further, let's talk about what the plan this run is, boys. Seeing as the items I have are absolute trash, my knife is going to have to do it for me this run, so a melee build was going to be absolutely imperative. Also, getting my speech to 100 is a must this run, because there is no way I could get out of the final sequence of the game alive without it. I only have 8 stim packs, so the choices I make need to be the right ones. Along the way, I will need to sleep in a multitude of beds, so if you see me randomly gain health, that is why. Now let's get back to it. The deputy of Primm needed a knight in shining armor, so being the Chad I am, I ran through hacking and slashing. Midway through, I had to take a quick nap, but right after, I went straight back to work and showed those turds what a real man tastes like. The interaction went easier than expected, and it was nice to know that our Lord and Savior, Nicolas Cage, was watching me. I killed all the enemies, and then the mayor and his boys told me where to head next to find my arch nemesis, the man in the checkered suit. They pointed me in the right direction, and with the speed of a boy alt-tabbing off of a naughty website, I was out of there.
Yeah, that's right, Martha. You better stay in there. You really think you can face me? Like, come on. Oh!
After a bit of traveling, I made it to some sort of weird encampment and assisted a couple of scorpions in setting the prisoners free. Unfortunately, it looks like their plan was not to set them free, but hey, at least I helped them in their cause. Getting to Novak was easy, but now this was where the run was going to get a bit spicy. The only way to get info on the man with the checkered suit is to take out some ghouls, or help those ghouls. And I'm sure as hell wasn't going to help those grimy little turds. I was curious to see that if I murdered the Green Lantern, I would be able to skip the quest and get the info I needed. I turned Jason into a 3-course meal and ran my squarehead looking ass back to Manny. It worked, and that made me happy, because I like when things work. I took a quick nap and then realized that I am beyond fortunate to be in the presence of the embodiment of beauty itself. That square head, the glorious pubic-like facial hair, my character is damn near perfect. And those of you watching should feel honored to even have your eyes laid upon him.
Oh yeah, baby.
It was now time to save a few hostages. I got wind of the situation from these NCR scum fucks, took control of it, ran inside, and told that big dummy head he was making a grave mistake. The plan worked because I have the charismatic skills of a McDonald's cheeseburger. After setting the hostages free, I rewarded myself with the murder of this poor NCR agent. I rewarded myself with the trip to Las Vegas, baby. I got to the strip, was challenged by a man that was jealous of my jawline.
Yeah, okay, Freeside thug? Huh. More like Freeside bitch.
killed him, and then sold my things to buy a passport into the dreaming city. It was now time to pay our good old friend Benny a visit. Unfortunately, my speech was still that of a McDonald's cheeseburger, so I was unable to take him to his room and clap his booty cheeks. So I tried to end him right there.
Whoa, it was a prank, guys. Come on.
After getting to the room, Benny split on me faster than my dad. And fortunately, him splitting led me to find a new leader, one that would liberate Las Vegas and make us whole again. After discussing the plan we would play out to make my dad the president of Vegas, it was time to retrieve the platinum chip. I met some baldy named Caesar, and looky what we found here, boys. That no good for nothing baby man looking fuck, Benny. Before I could finish my unsettled business with him, I needed to use the platinum chip to shut down the bunker in his camp. Getting through that bunker was a pain in the spleen, and I got booty blasted over and over and over and but I managed to push through using the last of my 9mm rounds and my knife to take those steel fuckers down. Finally, it was time to finish my dinner. I don't think Benny was prepared for the fisting of a lifetime. The fisting was so good, even Caesar wanted a viewing, so he could destroy his meat to this gloriousness.
No, guys, come on. It was a prank. Come on.
I finished Benny off, and now it was time to give my dad the foundation he needed to get up off his feet and command the strip. Lucky 38 was a place that he wanted, and I obeyed. The place looked intimidating, but fortunately, I found a convenient terminal that led me to Mr. House's cryopod. Lucky for him, a nice fisting was on the menu, and it had his name on it.
Yeah.
After giving Mr. House what he deserved, I let Yes Man know of what had been done. He was beyond proud. In order to continue onwards though, I needed to figure out which factions I would let live. This task would involve me traveling the waste far and wide to chat with each faction. This was going to be pretty easy.
Holy, what the No, fuck. Yo, we gotta go.
After running around, being chased by deathclaws, avoiding bombardments by some freaks, and being assaulted by glitching scorpions, I took a nap and went to Yes Dad to find out what was the next plan of action. I needed to defend an NCR president. So far, the run was still faring quite easy. My supplies were still abundant, but unfortunately, I had no more ammo for my 9mm pistol. The rest of the run would have to be done with my knife. Hoover Dam stank like dirty NCR, but a task needed to be completed. I clapped some douche trying to take down the president, and then went off to go plant Yes Man's fat seed in the El Dorado. This was the last task needed to get him into control of Vegas. Unfortunately, El Dorado was going to cause me a little problem. The building I needed to enter would make the NCR shoot me on sight, but it seems as though Nicolas Cage was on my side this day, and to my advantage, a bunch of Caesar's men showed up and distracted them. With their attention deterred elsewhere, it was time to enter inside and plant this damn I didn't have the tools to take all the NCR in that building down, and it was not going to be possible to get in there by sneaking, so I decided to dart inside, plant my seed that would then grow into a forest, and book my ass out of there. I took a quick nap before I chatted with my father, and then told him of what I had done. He showered me in his sticky, wet, creamy praise, and then he told me that it was time, the final act, to conclude this shit show. We took a family road trip to Hoover Dam and watched as Yes Dad's men obliterated everything in his path. This really got my undies throbbing. He brought the pain of Adam and science to those poor souls. While making it to the dam entrance, I felt a little useless, so I decided to stab the legionary to death. You know, to contribute to the cause. I entered the dam, and this was where my rations would come into play. I needed to upload Yes Man to the dam also, and this was going to prove difficult, as there were 2 NCR NPCs with power armor guarding the fucking doors! I pounded down a few stim packs and began stabbing the fuckers, because peace was not going to be an option.
Oh, yeah, what? You want some of this now, Stevenson? Huh. Yeah, now you fucked up, didn't you, dude? Oh,
Unfortunately, I had to use the rest of my stim packs and all of my healing rations, because those damn Legion followed me around and even followed me through loading doors. All I could do now is hope to the Lord baby Nicolas Cage the rest of the run will go smoothly. I got to the Legate camp in one piece, and this was where my 100 speech would come into play. It was basically a home run from here, boys. I avoided Caesar's men, told him that he was in fact a big dummy head, even bigger than that great con leader, and forced him to retreat. After I dealt with him, a great NCR general tried to talk me out of letting Yes Man become leader. He didn't seem like the type of guy that enjoyed getting fucked by robots, but it seemed like everything worked out fine. It was over, gentlemen. The game had been completed with only the items in Doc Mitchell's house. The run wasn't as bad as I thought it would be, although if I didn't have a high enough speech, it probably would have went terribly at the end there. Thank you guys for watching, and be sure to subscribe if you already haven't. Stay tuned for next week's video, where we learn about the financial standpoint of America during the Civil War.